excited to welcome a dear friend of mine, my wellness coach. Like, I didn't get to be this sexy beast all by myself. Let's be honest. Nate really guided me through a very transformative season in my life the last couple of years, and it hasn't been flawless in terms of my personal commitment and some ebbs and flows. But he was side by side with me as a lot of people got kind of caught up in different things around mindset and around activities and disciplines in 2020. I went a different direction. I dropped 84 pounds in 9 months. I definitely improved my strength. I just improved my overall health and wellness, which honestly, probably saved my life for a few different reasons. And so I'm super grateful for his influence in my life, for his patience with me through the process. And it was a heart job, it was a head job, and it was like the physical part, right? Like the collaboration of that. So I have so much respect for Nate and the work that he does. And I know that he's also very, very research based. So Chelsea was talking about being data driven and what does the data say? I always trust what Nate tells me because of that. And what he's going to share with us today is really, a number of things, I'm sure, but how to optimize our energy for entrepreneurship and for business and for what we're doing every day. So Nate, I appreciate you, brother. Welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me here. This is a lot of fun. I am a little bit nervous having to follow Chelsea like that. Anyone like any Chelsea Wright fans here? Just give her some snaps because she absolutely crushed it, and I have to follow that. So this is like the final stretch, right? We talked about this a lot today. So we kind of the final 90 days. I don't know about you guys. I always freeze up kind of around crunch time. Anyone else like that? Anyone else kind of gets like frozen? That's why my wife is actually in charge of the house and the household stuff. Like we replaced the AC this summer, which is really fun, really great. And the guy was talking to me about stuff, and he's like, "So what's your electric bill right now?" And I was like, $100,000. He's like, "No, like really, what's your electric bill?" I was like, $900 a month. Like, what number do I need to say to you to end this conversation right now? Because I'm very uncomfortable. So like the refrigeration guy came over, our refrigerator wasn't working. I wasn't able to get the water out, and like, if I can't get the water out of the fridge, I freeze up. I don't know what to do. Where else is there water in Arizona? I can't find it. So the refrigeration guy comes over and he's like, "So when is the last time you changed your filters here?" And I was like, "Man, I don't even know if we rent or own this house." Like, he's like, "Is your husband home?" I was like, "Yeah, let me go get her." So I don't know if anyone else has that experience at all, but I don't do like the mundane stuff very well. I kind of get excited about new things. My wife will be like, "Hey, let's like kind of put in winter grass." And I'm like, "But I saw a TikTok video where someone converted their yard to a slip and slide. Like, let's do that." Spend like 16 hours doing it, end up replacing the winter grass. Anyone else on this train at all? Like a little ADD. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to give you some of my best practices, some of the things that have worked out for me in terms of creating intensity, creating energy, and creating intentionality towards what we're putting in. And this is something that I really like talking about because we can apply it to exactly what Chelsea was speaking about earlier, being curious and looking at our goals and wondering if they serve us. And all of this is going to work out really well with everything we've talked about so far today. And it's just kind of going to work in conjunction with that. So what I want to talk about is morning routines. And rather than being like, "Hey, what I want you to do is get up and I'm going to start meditating." Dom, I saw you and E-Money, you guys both want to start meditating, doing some visualization. So I'm not going to tell you how to do that. There's a lot of resources out there that are probably better than me. What I am going to give you is a 3-step framework of something that you can incorporate into a daily routine that's going to serve you. It's kind of a macro level view on that. Then I'm going to give you 5 different morning routine activities that I love and I do on a daily basis that might serve you. And you can take what you want, leave what you don't like about that. And then I'll give you at the end a chance to actually get access to, I have a 5-day morning routine course. It's like 5 days in a handbook. So you can have access to that for free at the end. If you like what I'm saying, if you don't like it, you can't have my stuff. I'll go just delete your name. It doesn't even matter. So you guys with me so far? Everyone having a good day? It's been a couple hours, right? Everyone's still happy? All right. I'm not going to tell you to go get a snack. Okay. Cause I'm against snacking. So Chelsea's a lot nicer than me in that capacity. So the first thing I want to talk about is this framework of 3 different pieces. The first one is reducing decision fatigue. reducing decision fatigue. And that sounds like a really weird thing when it comes to morning routines, because I'm not telling you about Hal Elrod's miracle morning. And I'm not telling you about drinking this green juice and putting a spritz of water in it. Those are all tactics. Those are all little technique things that are going to give you some results, but I want to give you the big framework. So the first one is going to be reducing decision fatigue. And there's a quote I love about this. And it says, keep your life, be boring and orderly in your life so that you can be violent and original in your work. That's a quote by Gustave Flaubert. And I think that is so important, especially as we think about the first part of our day. We need to be scripting out. We need to be on point. We need to be following a game plan for at least the first hour of our day, right? Anyone ever like gotten home and been like, I'm cashed out. I don't have any mental reserves. The AC guy's coming to come over. I'm going to say a bunch of dumb shit to him. Anyone been there? Yeah, like that's a lot of what happens when we work on a daily basis and we're making decisions in our business, in our lives, and I want you to make big decisions on how to approach different contracts, how to structure agreements that are going to be a win-win for you and the buyer or the seller, how to expand your reach and have those difficult conversations with people that you need to. I do not want you to spend time, emotional energy, and effort thinking about, should I have blueberry Pop-Tarts in the morning or should I have that cinnamon raisin French toast? That's a decision that sucks that you spend any amount of time or mental energy thinking about. So we want to be able to script out the first part of your day. You guys know about Mark Zuckerberg? You guys ever heard of him? He runs the internet, I'm pretty sure. So he's several dollars, many several dollars. But the thing about Mark Zuckerberg is he wears the same shit every single day. He shows up looking like he's like just a step above homeless, rocking like the black shirt and the jeans, right? Looks always the same. Steve Jobs is the same thing, black turtleneck sweater and jeans. These guys.
Alexa, dismiss.
All right. Sorry about that. Mute everyone. All right. So these guys don't dress the same way because they can't afford other clothes or because, they only have one pair. They dress the same because it eliminates decision fatigue at the end of the day. So they get to spend all their mental energy focusing on the things that actually drive success in their life and their business. There's a study that they did where they left a chocolate chip cookie out. I don't know who they is in this situation. I just kind of like the metaphysical they, probably the government. I don't know. They left a chocolate chip cookie out on the counter. And in the beginning of the day, people would walk past the chocolate chip cookie and they would avoid it. They would not eat it. Only 12% of people would eat that chocolate chip cookie in the morning. At the end of the day, 88% of people after dinner would grab that chocolate chip cookie that was just sitting on the counter because we've worked through all that willpower. Willpower is a muscle. Discipline's a muscle. Motivation's a muscle. And if we get to the end of the day and we are exhausted, Chelsea was talking about hitting CrossFit. Like if you go to the gym and you do a bunch of squats and you get home and your kids are like, hey, let's do squats in the garage. You're exhausted. You don't want to do that. So why are we going to tempt ourselves with these other mundane tasks? We need to eliminate some of those, especially in the morning, to save our energy. So reduce your decision fatigue by scripting out the first few moves of the day. And I'll tell you kind of what I do. I'll give you that 5-step framework that I use. But again, it's nothing crazy. And you can use this in any way that you like. So whether it's wake up, have a cold shower, eat your oatmeal, whether that's wake up, follow the $1 Million Body method, get your shake in the morning, do your workout, whatever that looks like, have a routine and stick to it. Don't let your Google Calendar just slide right by. When you set those intentions, better execute on those. The second thing is NUI work. Does anyone know what NUI work, NUI work is? Crystal, do you know? Did Crystal just leave? I was gonna pick on her. That's fine, Crystal. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. Anyone know what NUI work? Anyone raise their hand while I was being mad at Crystal? All right. NUI work just stands for non-urgent important work. Okay. So if you're thinking about a box, right? I'm not going to draw it because drawing's hard. But basically, we're going to take a box and we're going to split that box into 4 quadrants. Okay. Off the top is non-urgent and urgent. And on the side is non-important and important. So if we look at like what Chelsea was talking about with our calendar, our time blocking, and seeing what we're doing on a daily basis, we want to make sure that we can categorize all of our tasks into one of those 4 boxes. And so the first one is that non-urgent, non-important stuff that we get tied up in. And this is something that you're really only going to see if you actually take the time and write out your calendar. Do this for a week. It's completely mind-blowing what we spend our time doing. So when you find those non-urgent, non-important tasks that we're doing, we need to delete those. You need to delete those tasks. Okay. They're not moving the needle in any capacity of your life. Maybe you like playing video games or, doing whatever, but like if especially in your business, we need to eliminate those tasks that are not serving us. Okay. Buy some of our time back. And some people can get like 5-10 hours a week back just on this step alone. Okay. The second is the um, non-important urgent stuff, the stuff that pops up that keeps us from being focused in on the really critical tasks where you're checking that email and you just need to respond back. Got it. Thanks. Like that is urgent, but it's not important. It doesn't move the needle in any capacity. All it does is distract you. So either put a time aside to handle all those tasks or delegate that to someone else. Everyone's got a VA these days. So delegate those non-important urgent tasks. Delete the non-important, non-urgent tasks. Then when it comes to non-urgent important tasks, and I'm saying a lot of the same words, so if I get confused here, you guys get what I'm saying. When it comes to those NUI tasks, those are the things that are important to your business, that move the needle, but are not necessarily something you need to do today. Now, this is where we make our money, right? When we think about Apple, the company, I'm just going to keep harping on that. They didn't go and like sit back and be like, hey, we got the iMac, like, cool. Let's just sit here and just sell a bunch of those to junior highs in the 90s. If you guys, anyone grew up in the 90s, like the green, the orange, and the purple iMacs, and everyone's like, ooh, iMacs. Yeah. Thanks, Lisa. I appreciate you jumping in on that one. Everyone else is just sitting there just staring at me. So they didn't just sit back and be like, oh, iMacs, that's the thing. Oh, iPod, 1,000 songs in your pocket. They constantly went back and were redeveloping and recreating and building upon what they've already created. They were doing that non-urgent, important work. And now what? Now they are dominating the space. They've got things that are completely, like, we don't say phones anymore. We say iPhones, right? We don't say like pull up your music player app. We say like iTunes. We don't say, do you have your MP3 device? We say, you pull up your iPod. They've dominated the space in a lot of different ways because they're constantly innovating and constantly going back to work on those non-urgent, important things. It wasn't not urgent that they build out new models, create an iPhone 14, put the new cameras in, but it was important to their future growth. So we want to be doing the same thing. So again, going to the morning, we need to set up aside some time. And even if it's 15, 30 minutes, even like an hour being better, set aside some time in the morning to knock that out first thing. Because if you get up and you have like 30 minutes of dedicated time to work on the most important tasks that are non-urgent, you are going to be light years ahead in 5, 6, 12 months, rather than just trying to be reactive and always just going back to what you need to do in the business. Follow up on your to-do list, respond to client emails, do those sorts of things. And but like after 6 months passes, you look up and you haven't really built anything yet. You've just been in reactionary mode. So doing that NUI work, that's critical. And then obviously the urgent and important stuff that you do on a daily basis. So I don't need to go talk about that. So far we need to have a morning routine that reduces our decision fatigue. And we would have something that increases our ability to do non-urgent, important tasks. That's how we move the needle in our life and business. I don't know about you guys, like 3 o'clock hits, I've got the best of intentions, but my day does not belong to me anymore. I got calls, I got something, I got to pick up the kids. My daughter's throwing a fit. Something's happening where my day does not belong to me anymore. So that's why getting this done in the morning is critical. Everyone with me so far? Yeah, nod if you're with me. Give me a thumbs down if you think I'm full of shit. All right. Just wanted to keep swearing to make sure you guys are listening to me. So, all right. And the third thing, and this is one of my favorite is vote for the person that you're becoming. Every morning routine should cast a vote for who you're becoming, right? We are not what we say. We are what we do, right? Actions, not words. I have a tattoo that says fact and nonverbal, actions, not words, because I think it's so important that we remember it's not about what we say. It's not about what we commit to. It's about what we can execute on. The Phoenix Suns coach has a saying is as well done is better than well said, right? Same idea here is that we need to be making moves in the direction that furthers our business. So looking back through the chat, like talking to like so many people are posting, we want like Dominic want to do meditations. Erik wants to do better sleep. Michael, same thing. Consistent daily calls for Sean. Greg wants a clear plan on moving forward. So what are those things saying about you? And when you do those things, when you make that commitment and you say, I'm a person who does meditation, I'm going to meditate. What is that telling you about who you are? Jump in here real quick. E-money. If you started meditating every single day, what does that tell you about yourself? Bottom left, mute button. unless he's got us on pause. Yes, Lisa says, I'm important. E-Money says, I'm learning to slow down. I was waiting for like the jump in and talk about it, but yeah, I'll take it. Eric says, I'm important. I'm a priority. Chelsea says, doing what you say you're going to do is the easiest way to build self-trust. Yes, you want to be self-confident, you have to do what you say you're going to do. One of the core values of my program, the $1 Million Body Program, is be inevitable. Be inevitable simply means do what you say you're going to do when you say you're going to do it. Building that self-trust, building that self-confidence, because if you don't believe you, no one else will. Think about that for a second. If you are constantly saying, this is the year I'm going to get in shape, I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to write a book, I'm going to get on client calls, I'm going to start meditating, and you don't do that, you stop believing the things you say. And if you don't believe it, guess what? Nobody else in your life does either. So I was at a family event this weekend, and my sister is notorious in this way. She comes sometimes, she's generally gets sick, or, oh, oops, she forgot there was another engagement. So when my sister walks in the door, when I see the whites of her eyeballs, I believe she's showing up, regardless of what she says. Who's got a person like that in their life? Who knows that person? Who's like, I'll believe it when I see you walk in. Yeah, I see people nodding. Do you guys want to be that person in your circles? Who's like, yeah, that's me. I want to be a flake. No. Who wants to be the person that's like, hey, Erik said he was going to write a book. I'm excited. Show me when that book signing is. Tell me when that ribbon cutting is. Who wants to be that person who is inevitable? Who is that person that is dependable, that people can count on? And if you say some shit, it's going down. I want to be that person. That's one of my missions in life. I want to be that person. I want to showcase that that's possible to people. So every single time we set an intention, we want to execute on it, especially in the morning, to cast that vote for who we're becoming. Okay, so everyone's heard of discipline over motivation, right? Everyone knows like motivation's fake, discipline's real, right? Yeah. So let me give you one more step to that, because yeah, motivation is not as good as discipline, but discipline in itself is not as good as identity. Yeah, Precious, tell me about it. So a lot of people will think, oh, Nate, you're a trainer. You must be disciplined. You go to the gym all the time. You eat healthy. It must be easy for you. And I'm not the most disciplined person. I did have cheesecake last night. But here's the thing, is that my identity in my head, who I am a health conscious, I am a strong, and I am a hardworking individual. And so when those things are my baseline, when that's how I perceive myself, I will not act out of accordance with my identity. I can skip tasks. I can be a little bit spacey. I can do all these things, but I will never act outside of my identity, and neither will any of us. So when you believe about yourself, I had a client tell me the other day, hey, I'm just the fat guy who always eats a lot. And that was his identity about himself. And I was like, man, no diet is ever going to work for you. No fitness program is ever going to complete this cycle, because your identity needs to take that shift in order for you to actually accomplish what you're going to do. You will never act outside your identity. So how do we change our identity? Who wants it? Who's got this one? How do we change our identity?
By doing the things you say you're going to do.
Hell yeah. Doing the things you say you're going to do. By setting those intentions, setting out those goals, and then executing on them. And not just today and not just tomorrow, but over and over and over and over again, until that is who you are. And that's why I love fitness and nutrition. I think it's the cornerstone for so many important things about what we're doing on a daily basis: our energy, our execution, how we show up for clients, how we show up for our friends and family. Because if we can nail that one piece, that piece where we are consistently in personal development, we are consistently getting ourselves better energy by eating the right foods and doing the right morning routines and executing all these pieces, we start to change our identity and start changing our perception of ourselves. And that is the only way that people get and keep results for life. And whether that's in fitness, nutrition, business, leadership, anything else, you can't act outside of your identity, at least not long-term. Win the day every day. Boom. So with that all in mind, guys, the 3 pieces that I talked about today in terms of the framework for your morning routine, and you can take this and run with it in any direction you want to, is reduce your decision fatigue by scripting out the first moves of your day. Do your NUI work, prioritize the things that are going to move the needle for you in the most important aspects of your life, and then cast a vote of confidence, cast a vote for the person you are becoming. Okay, so I'm going to really quickly blaze through 5 different ways that I execute on this in my own life. And again, Bruce Lee said, take what is useful, absorb what is useful, leave what is not, and add what is uniquely your own. So these can be good for you. This could be the magic pill. Probably not though, but maybe you're going to take 1 or 2 things out of my 5 and be like, hell yeah, that's going to stay with me forever. Okay, so number 1 is I'm going to give you a 1 through 5 framework. Okay, so number one, first thing is 1 minute of explosive exercise in the morning, right? You don't have to do a whole workout. You got to do 60 seconds of explosive exercise. What's explosive exercise? Shadow boxing. Don't get caught doing this because you look like a fool. Number 2, you could do jumping jacks. You could do explosive push-ups. You could do squat jumps. You could do lunge jumps if you're a sadist, but I'm not doing that shit early in the morning. That sounds hard. So I do jumping jacks most of the time. My kid's got a little rebounder trampoline that I jump on too. That's nice. Anything, like I can tell you a million reasons why it's good for you, but just try it out and see how you feel. Don't have your cup of coffee. Wake up, 60 seconds of jumping jacks and see how your energy is, see where you're at mentally. It is crazy. All right. Number 2, 2 glasses of water first thing in the morning. I generally do 1 before my 60 seconds and then 1 after. 60 seconds of, 32 ounces of water, más o menos, in the morning. Number 3, 3 critical tasks. Write them down. What are you going to accomplish today? And this falls right into that NUI work. Okay. If you don't know what your critical tasks are, how are you going to accomplish them? You're going to sit at your computer, you're going to be on Facebook, you're going to follow up, you're going to send an email, you're going to look at Instagram, and then all of a sudden that time's gone and you haven't done any non-urgent important stuff. So if you don't, right, this is, oh, I'm a dad now, so I say stupid shit like this. Well, if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. And then I also say, hi, hungry, I'm dad. So things I thought I'd never say. But it's true though. If we don't know what our steps are, how can we execute on them? So I sometimes will do this even at night. Is tomorrow, what would make this an amazing day? Well, my priority is getting in the best shape of my life. So a workout is a non-negotiable task. Well, I'm planning on selling 25 houses this month, year, whatever you guys do. You guys are insane. So I'm going to make 100 phone calls today. Like that's a critical task. And then, maybe I have to pick my kids up. That's probably important to the family aspect, whatever. So putting those on the list, that way, hey, if I check these 3 boxes, regardless of my to-do list, if I get all those done for the day, I'm winning. I did it. I won the day, right? Chelsea said win the day, or no, Dom said win the day. That's a great way to do it is how do you know if you won the day? If you don't have any metrics, if you don't have anything set up in place, right? You don't go run a race and the finish line is like where nebulous. It's like, no, the finish line is 100 meters. First person to 100 meters wins. Wouldn't that be embarrassing? You show up and they're like, all right, go. And you're like, where are we going? They're like, we'll tell you when to stop. How fast should you go? How hard should you push? How long is this going to take? Should I have brought socks? Yeah. So making sure that you have actually a goal post, something that you're looking forward to, that you can check the box and be like, yes, I accomplished that. So that was 3 critical tasks for the day. Sometimes people do this better at night. I like to do it like right as I finish work. I do the critical task and I shut my computer. Boom. 4th, and this is a stretch here, but fortify your gratitude by sending a text or a note or an email to someone that you're thinking of, that is important to you, that is a relationship that you want to deepen. One of my goals this year was to never resist a generous impulse. And the way that I try to put that out into the universe is by making sure that when someone pops in my head, I go, hey, Eric, dude, just thinking about you today. Hope you have an amazing day. Hey man, just wanted to let you know that you really impacted my life in this way. Hey Dom, thanks for sending me that book. Here's a quick lesson I took away from that. And if you can do that on a regular basis, it's amazing how good you freaking feel after that. How good is Dom going to feel if I send him a note in the morning like, dude, I just wanted to let you know that you're killing it. I see you posting on social media. Your videos are funny as hell. Like, dude, keep it going. And by the way, his videos are funny as hell. If you're not following him on Instagram, you've got to check him out. But like, how good is someone going to feel when they wake up to that text message? And what's crazy is that you get that same feeling. So it's a great way to build up that optimism, that energy, and start pushing your energy towards the person that you want to become, right? I want to become a connector. I want to become someone who is great to be around, who helps people out and who elevates the consciousness of everyone who's around me. I'm assuming that if you guys are here right now on Final Push, you want that too. So fortify your gratitude by putting that out. And at bonus points, if you write a letter, send a card, send out cards, anything like that, people get something in the mail. Plus you get 3 days of anticipation. I sent my wife one the other day. It was a selfie in front of some bushes. And she loved this. It was like the most romantic thing I've ever done. I said, hey, the lantana needs a nice trim. And I sent that card to her. That's all it said on it. And so for 4 days, I was like, and then when it finally got here, she looked at it, she opened it up. She goes, I hate you so much. And then she started cracking up. Worth it. 100% worth it. Very fun for me. And then number 5, we're getting there. We're almost done. 5 to 10 deep breaths in the morning. Most of us don't ever take the time, pause and take a deep breath. Yes, you can meditate, Dom. Yes, you can meditate and do some visualization. That's great. But what I'm trying to do here is distill the best practices of morning routines into the smallest window, the highest ROI. So you can do all these things in under 6 minutes. Boom, you're out the door. You don't have to. I hate when 22-year-old life coaches are like, all you got to do is wake up at 4 a.m. and then do a 90-minute yoga session. And then you're going to go into a red light sauna. And then we're going to make a green juice. And by the time it's 9:30, you should be balanced, and your asshole chakra is going to be in alignment. And then you're going to be just feeling so good about yourself. And I'm like, I got kids. These kids are screaming at me at 6:30. I don't have time for that. So I want to give you guys some appropriate stuff that is going to work for you in the fastest amount of time possible, but feel free to expand on that. So 5 to 10 deep breaths. Let's do this together right now. Who's in? Ready? All right. Deep breath in. Try to expand east-west. So chest, expand your chest, expand your upper back. Don't breathe into your shoulders at all right now. Follow along with me. Into the nose, out of the mouth. Sorry if I'm breathing hard into the mouth. One more. How do you guys feel? I feel amazing.
Tingling.
Oh yeah. If you're tingling, guess what? You've been deoxygenated. You need to focus on breathing a little bit more. You're getting a little lightheaded. You need to focus on breathing a little bit more. These are important aspects. Guys, if you want to get access to my 5-day course where I talk about this, it is yours for free because you're a friend of Eric's, you're a friend of mine. I'll put it in the chat right here. Boom. You can check that out, get involved. Otherwise, follow me on Instagram at Low Carb Hustle. Put that in the chat too. Boom. And if you have any other questions, anything I can help out with this, I would love to answer those. I know we had just a short amount of time, so I hope this was valuable for you. But can we give another round of applause for Erik for organizing this event and putting it on? Yes. EK, you rock. And keep it going for yourselves, guys. Showing up for yourselves big time, 9 to noon on a weekday. That's huge. And that just speaks to the type of people that you are and that you continue to become. So thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate the contribution. Appreciate your friendship and leadership and the resources. Your stuff's the best out there. I'm a huge believer. So thanks for dropping all that wisdom on us.